Good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up those football gods here on this Sunday morning. You know, Sunday's just not the same without football. It really isn't. But see, we are fortunate. We are blessed that this is another Sunday without football, but it's getting us that much closer because right now we sit 95 days, 10 hours, 13 minutes, and 50 seconds away from kickoff against Tampa Bay. It's not a whole lot of time. It's not a whole lot of time. We have got to get our shit together between now and then so that way we can be ready to rock and roll. There's so many things that I like. Last night I was outside and trying to figure out what I'm most excited about, on this team. I missed my quarterback, having not had him for the whole season. Was a killer, I miss Zeke Elliott being a great running back, and I miss, having defense that actually played lights out. We did get a few turnovers, which was nice, which is something we didn't usually get, but for the most part, that defense was terrible. And being a guy who played defense and growing up seeing the Doomsday defense as well as the Doomsday 2 defense, as well as the 90s where we really don't have a name for them, but they were like the Doomsday 3 defense. Seeing how our defense has been for about the last 10 years, we've had some ones that have shown some promises, but we haven't really had that ball hawking, lights out, get a stop when you must type defense. And I'm hoping that we're beginning to build on something. It literally feels like night and day difference from Mike Nolan to Dan Quinn. That's not to throw shade against Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan, it may not have been the right fit, the right guys, and a global pandemic. I'm not going to condemn him for a guy that only had 1 year and one shot and one opportunity on an unmotivated defense. But I see, as the Cowboys have cleared house with a lot of these older guys and veterans and are leaning towards being younger, our defensive line basically went from an average age of about 29 to about 25 in the blink of an eye. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this defense will do. Now, for the most part, it's been great to see guys that we didn't see all season out on the field for OTAs, seeing Tyron Smith, saying that he feels healthier than he has in years, that the neck, surgery has gone a long way to really and truly heal him. Seeing Lyle Collins, drop weight and everything else, looking like he's ready and motivated to make sure that Dak Prescott is protected, So all of these guys and all these things are all wonderful things to see. The only thing that we have a question on is, with some of our talent, is how they're going to fit in. And with this being OTAs and next week being mandatory minicamp and having 6 practices now behind us, there's only a couple left before, school's out for summer and the players are left to do whatever the player's going to do until training camp starts. You've got about 7 weeks there of time where the team doesn't have contact really with the players. So this is important to get as much work in and much practice in as possible to help these guys out. And one of the guys that's been missing because of illness is Kelvin Joseph. Now, they haven't said exactly what it is that Kelvin Joseph is dealing with, that he just has an illness and so on. We've heard that Anthony Brown has actually been looking good opposite Diggs. And although they've not said one way or the other who's going to be starting, Kelvin Joseph, to his credit, being that draft pick that he was, only had 15 starts in college. So I'm wondering, is the illness motion sickness? You're probably going, the fuck is Mark talking about? Motion sickness. Here is probably the best thing that could happen to the Dallas Cowboys defense. The best thing that's happening to the Dallas Cowboys defense is the fact that they have to practice against the Dallas Cowboys offense. And when I say motion sickness, you got to think that with all of the motion, all these guys that are running around like crazy, that your head's got to be on a swivel if you're on the defense. Think about it. Think about this. If you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, every day these guys have to cover Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, every day in practice. With the exception of maybe Tampa Bay and Kansas City, that's going to be the best offense that they face all season, and arguably could be the best offense. If you can do something against those guys, what do you think you're going to do against, say, a Giants team, an Eagles team, a Washington's team? You got to deal with Zeke Elliott coming out of the backfield. You got to deal with Dak Prescott, who you got to look at and say is a top 6, top 5 quarterback, at least. Fantasy football, he's number 1, according to my man Stuart Morrison. And you can check out my Discord channel, too. I'll put that in the description as well. That's right. We have a Discord channel. I'm learning about Discord. Shout out to Simba, who's now one of the moderators, along with, of course, Stuart Morrison, who's handling all the heavyweight lifting. Okay. This is the first time that Broadcast Media actually has somebody kind of working for him and helping him out. So that's actually really, really cool. What? What? Say what? Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Sorry. Forgive me, Michael Anthony Fitness Reactions. Yes, he is. Actually, my bad. Actually, I have a lot of people that are helping me, but Michael does. Michael is actually, you know what? Michael is actually taking care of my podcasting. So whenever we do a show, it turns into a podcast on speaker. So you know what, Michael, my apologies. Okay, so the link is in the description as well. So we're expanding what we're doing here. So I'll get it straight. You know, I'm old and forgetful. I didn't mean any shade on Michael or anything else, but Stuart is setting that up because he has experience with it and helping to get it on track and stuff. And we're going to have a good time with it. And he found out that you can do videos on there as well. So this is going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. Anyway, back to we talking about.
We sitting here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Kelvin Joseph, I don't think he's got motion sickness. Okay, so if you want to call me a clickbaiter on that one, call me a clickbaiter. But on the real, though, if you are one of those teams that has a terrible offense and your defense has to practice against them, you're not getting the experience in real time speed of what you are if you're actually a Dallas Cowboy player. You're just not. And to do that, you're going to have to step up your game. And dare say, come game day, most game days are going to be easier than what you're facing in practice. And I think that this is going to be a great thing. Think about it. If Tyron Smith is healthy and you got to go against Tyron Smith in practice, hey, come Sundays, it might be a little easier when you're facing the Chaz Green. Just saying. So for us, competition helps to breed better athletes. Having to be pushed in practice is a good thing. And a lot of times, you have teams that I'll take it easy, Mike. I'll see you later. You have teams that don't have good practices. Well, what you practice is what translates to game day, at least in my mind. And teams need to practice hard. This camp cupcake that NFL teams have these days, it drives me crazy. I just look back and think about how much practicing we used to do. We used to have 2 days that were very physical, where you learned how to tackle, how to take a hit, how to do your craft. I don't know how in 14 padded practices in the offseason and 11 padded practices during the season, how you can really learn and get better. But you know what? What do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. So I love the fact that we have a team that now everybody is fighting for a spot, so to speak, unless you're Tyron Smith. Okay, you're not fighting for your starting spot, Tyron Smith, or probably Lyle. I don't think Dak's fighting for his spot either, or maybe Amari Cooper isn't, and Michael Gallup and CD. Okay, Zeke's not fighting for a starting role. But when you start looking at all of these other positions around there, everybody's going to be fighting for playing time. And with 34 contracts, 34 contracts for guys who basically are in the last year of their deal, looking for that next one, you're going to see a lot of people that are going to be going all out because they're auditioning for their next contract or their next job. And this, I think, is a great thing. So everybody is looking around and saying, somebody's here trying to take my job, so I better step it up. And we'll see if they actually do. So that being said, I've got some work to do in the shop. I've got a few ideas of some new things I want to come out with. We got a couple more orders. Mike, Washington's going back to Richmond for a week for training camp. We don't know if it's going to be open to the public. Would you like to go see the Washington football team scout out the competition? There you go. All right. That's right. Yeah. Well, we and Skins fan all day. We can go back down and bitch slap them. I can't remember him. Bird Gang. Yeah. We might have to try and get a YouTube party together. And we also saw Foots, too. Yeah. So maybe we'll see if that's open, that we'll go down, we'll bitch slap the Washington football team. It is free, yeah. It means I don't have to fly to the West Coast, okay? I just drive down the road, down I-95. But that being said, I hope that all of you have a great weekend, great Sunday. Try and be productive. And hopefully Kelvin Joseph is there full go for mandatory minicamp. And hopefully Aaron Rodgers isn't for his. I'm Mark Holmes, and you know the deal.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.